How's everybody doing? Thanks for stopping by. There's something I've noticed as I've gotten older was the array of control freaks and psychic vampires, and yes, there is such a thing, that are actually floating around the planet. I mean, I'm sure I've dealt with them when I was younger, but for some reason they escaped my notice till I started getting older. I had dealt with one in the early 90s that was probably one of the most destructive personalities I had ever met. Very sneaky individual that you just couldn't turn your back on. Didn't deal with them again till many years later, to the mid 2000s. And that was when I was starting to become one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, it wasn't because I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses that I had noticed this, but simultaneously, I was dealing with two of these type of personalities. One I worked for, so I was dealing with this person 6 to sometimes 7 days a week. And the other was my former Bible instructor, who was an extreme control freak as well as a psychic vampire. And it dawned on me over the years that they appear to look for certain individuals, not up front because they don't know what they're looking for, because if you notice something about these psychic vampires and control freaks, they're never very well educated and they don't have a whole lot going on between the ears. Subconsciously, they're looking for certain types of individuals. And I've finally realized the types of people that they actually seek and that are more susceptible. Now, the victims of these control freaks and psychic vampires are not unintelligent, they're not weak people, but they're more susceptible to these controlling psychic vampires. And the one I've noticed in recent months, if anybody has any type of empathic ability, they're a magnet for these psychic vampires and control freaks. They're also seeking somebody that has an overabundance of vital energy. See, everybody is empathic to a certain degree. Some people can go into a crowded room. Now, if the room is full of negative emotions, it will drain them. They will feel down. They'll have to leave. Most people have a certain amount of vital energy to get them through life. Some people seem to have an overabundance of this vital energy. The psychic vampires and control freaks have zip as far as vital energy, and they have no empathic abilities whatsoever. So to gain these necessary items, they have to seek out those who have it. Like I said, they're not even aware of it, but they're subconsciously drawn to it. The more common of them all, the people that these psychic vampires seek out, is basically out of sheer jealousy. That person has something, not physically, they don't even have to be rich, but represents something that they lack. They may see something in their personality that they want to emulate. And the best way to do it, to drain this energy from the person, is by taking them down a notch. Supposing you were an artistic person, whether it be pencil sketching, oil painting, and let's face it, anybody with any artistic ability, they kind of like to show it off, basically to get feedback, and it always feels good when somebody says, wow, that's awesome. But they also will take constructive criticism by somebody who's also doing the same thing that may be a few steps ahead of them. What these psychic vampires will do, the feedback that you'll get is not feedback. What you'll do, you show them what you've done, and they'll look at it and, I wouldn't spend too much time doing that. It's really not going to get you anywhere. That is not feedback at all. And basically you're left. And you feel pretty down about it. The person didn't come out and degrade it, so you can't really be angry at it. But the feedback that you do get, hello, puppy. Yes, puppy. Yes. Sorry, got company, guys. You're shaking the camera. Come on. But basically, it will leave you feeling down a notch. Like I said, I was dealing with these types of individuals simultaneously. They were very upfront control freaks, very abrasive personalities. In the long run, they end up losing because you just end up walking away. My employer at the time, it was very difficult not to. We used to fight tooth and nail for sometimes 8 hours a day. My Bible stalker, I realized what he was. And it was obvious others in the congregation knew it as well. He was very jealous of what he thought I represented. And basically, they will try and live their lives, and as well as him, vicariously through you. The most dangerous type of psychic vampire and control freak is the one that you don't see coming. Like I said, there are very abrasive people, and you're going to see them a mile away, and eventually you've got to cut ties. You're going, just stay over there, and you end up walking away. My employer, it was difficult too. Like I said, I worked for him. My Bible instructor, he was a lot easier. Just stay away, but he was very sneaky about it. But the most dangerous type of psychic vampire are the passive ones. The ones that you can have actually a decent conversation with that really don't seem to be out front looking for any problems or anything, but you'll notice one thing, that they're very negative in their overtones. You'll find little by little that you're very drained. An easy way to spot it is to watch to see who they have friction with. They have to have friction with somebody. You may be talking about the person they're having friction with and joking about it, laughing about it, but just keep in mind that that person that they're having friction with, when they're gone, the next target could be you. And I just lost my train of thought because of the puppy. Go lay down. They also have the tactic of getting involved where they don't belong. Most psychic vampires and control freaks have no social life. So what they will attempt to do is make your social life theirs. If you're talking with a friend or a few friends or having a good time somewhere and they show up somehow, they will interject in the conversation like they've known the person forever. They will try and make them their friend. They'll make inappropriate comments like they know the person when they actually don't. When they don't see it getting anywhere, that's when the friction starts. You start noticing that conversation is getting to be a real downer. And this is when they zap you of energy, when they're taking you down some notches. Their conversation can be very draining if you want to be left alone or you're into your own thing, and they'll come by and they'll always have something negative to say. Even though you tell them you're really not looking for a conversation, they won't take that as a get the hell away from me. The other thing that you'll start doing is just ignoring what they've got to say, and they will literally get up angry and walk away. They will do things behind your back to cause you problems. They'll start talking about you in any way, shape, or form that these psychic vampires. And I noticed, like I said, I became more aware of them while I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I noticed a lot of them at the Kingdom Hall because basically you're talking about a group of people that really didn't have a life. What was their life? They're going out in service, knocking on doors, talking about nothing but the meetings, or putting somebody down that's been mocked, which I pretty much like to avoid. See, the one thing is they will jump on you for talking down about somebody else, but they do it all the time. And it can be very, very draining. If you're one of these people with empathic abilities or have an overabundance of vital energy, or flat out just represents something that they lack, you will be targeted. You may have been before and you may be aware of it, but it will happen again. These people are all out there. And like I said, they are subconsciously looking for you. I mean, it can be accidental. It can happen by chance. But their tactics, although differ, the results are the same. You eventually have to cut your losses and get away from them. They are worth nothing. They are zapping you of everything you've got. And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything physical. It's what you are that they want. But they're very good to get away from. Whether you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses or you're not, whether it be in the workplace, in your social circle, you'll know it. You'll know it when your mood starts dropping, when you start feeling your energy zapped whenever you're near this person, cut the person loose and get the hell away from them. Eventually, their tactics stop working. They can only zap you for so long, and they can only zap you if you allow it. Once you close that door on them, they have to find another victim. And unfortunately for them, those victims are not plentiful. So they basically go through life literally starving because, like I said, they have no vital energy to get through life. They're usually poor in health. And like I said, they lack a lot of intelligence. They may come across like they know what they're talking about or are very intelligent, but you'll notice they are very redundant people. Anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to say today. If you're dealing with one, get away. Anyways, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and that'll let you know when I'm out here. I will talk to you guys soon. You have a good day.